Hello YouTube, welcome back to Brilliant Pit Seasonal Wellness YouTube channel. Happy summer solstice. In this video, we are going to talk about seasonal wellness for Cancer season, summer solstice moment in the year. What you can expect to hear about on this channel, if we are just meeting, is astrology, cyclical nature, seasonal wellness, slow living, herbalism, and tarot. I want to help align people closer with the seasons so that we can live in deeper harmony with nature and the natural cycles that exist all around us. If that is your cup of tea or coffee or whatever, I invite you to subscribe if you'd like and stick around because we are just going to talk all about June, Cancer season, symbolism, July, what that means and how you can really live in alignment through your lifestyle with this season at hand. We are in the peak of the sun's rising in the cycle of the year. What this really means is beyond this weekend, or whenever you're watching this, beyond June 21st, every year is when the sun now begins to fall. And we will get into way more about what that represents in the video, but understand that this is one of the best times of year for expansion. Yes, I said the word expansion. You may have heard that word when thinking about Jupiter if you're into astrology, listening to manifestation and abundance type of videos or type of content. Expansion is really the thing to be focusing on in the summertime. So Cancer represents very symbolically the summer solstice. The moment that Cancer season starts is also the moment of the summer solstice. So you can say and you can understand that Cancer and Capricorn are the divine opposite signs that represent the beginning of summer and the beginning of winter, which are the utmost light for summer and the utmost darkness for winter. So when you understand that, you can kind of see how Cancer and Capricorn are kind of special. I'm not going to say they're like more special than another sign, but they're special in their own little way because they carry the utmost of the duality that exists in all of life. Another way that I see a lot of the stuff that I study is just pure duality. Everything is duality. And if you understand that at a core level, it's like the easiest in you can have with all of this stuff. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon and the sun, funny enough, are actually one after another in the zodiac rulership. So it goes Cancer season beginning June 21st, going all the way to July 21st. And then on July 21st, the sun moves into Leo, which is the sign that is ruled by the sun. Interesting, right? So the sun is ruled by Leo, but yet the summer solstice takes place in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's a bit of a symbolism there, even in my opinion. And what we can say about that is that at the summer solstice moment, when everything is the utmost brightness and utmost light, there's light upon everything, it's the time to really take into account your emotional awareness throughout your life and understand that if this is a time of expansion, integrate what you've learned, whether it's memory or lessons or origin stories, those kinds of things, taking all of that in and living it out. Okay, so that is really how to integrate a time that is of utmost light ruled by the moon. That's the interpretation. When we get to Leo season, it's another take on that, but a bit more fiery because there's not this element, like the sun is falling, but it's still high in the sky. It's a fire sign. It's fixed. It's ruled by the sun. There's a lot of heat there. Another thing that I really love about Cancer season and Leo season and the symbolism between them is the fact that the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, as we've established. The opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So if we think about Capricorn and Aquarius, the opposite signs of the major planets that have to do with Earth's day and night, right? There's something different about the sun and moon in terms of the astrological significance, I think, to us on Earth, because it is the symbol of day and night. Like Mercury and Venus and Mars, they're all there, but we don't really see them and we don't really feel them in a physical sense every day. But that is something we do feel with the sun and moon. So Cancer and Leo, being ruled by the sun and moon, have this energy of like deeply present and feeling into life's experience because they are our dichotomy. They are the symbolism of dark, light, day, night, good, bad, all of that. It's like the most seen, in my opinion, okay? But back to Capricorn and Aquarius. So these are the opposites of the sun and moon. Now, what rules Capricorn and Aquarius? It is the planet Saturn. So you could say that Saturn is the opposite of the sun and moon, Cancer, Leo, but because the sun and moon are our everything, it's literally the makeup of everything that we see is day and night, because everything basically domino effects after that. Day and night causes us to have a circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm causes us to be awake during the day and sleeping at night. So if we get sleep at night and we have a waking day, we're going to do active things in the day. This is all going to be talked about in the Leo season video, so you best be subscribed. And in the night, we're going to be restful. We're going to be like inward. We're going to dream. We're going to feel into the things that are unconscious. And then all other meanings of life come from that, right? So we could say that Saturn is the opposite of life, right? Am I the only one who sees the crazy symbolism of this? Astronomers found Saturn. Saturn was the furthest thing that they could see. And so it represented to, I think in astrology as well, it represented back then this like limitation, the threshold, the most outer and almost like the most opposed. So that's another interpretation within astrology that exists with all astrologers. If you look into Saturn ruled anything, Aquarius or Capricorn, you're going to hear people talk about the outsider, the person who's kind of like shunned by society, the thing that's like unknown and like defines the limit, right? It's like the limitations. I just find that so fascinating. And I just wanted to make that connection because whenever we talk about a sign, we always talk about the opposite to then gain more wisdom. Speaking of Saturn being the opposite sign, the one that's out there, the one that's on the threshold, the one that's kind of the symbolism of like the furthest away, we can't feel it. It's far from us. We can understand that the moon and the sun representing day and night, nighttime Cancer, is this like unconscious feeling that represents the very felt inward, very present, very much in our body ways and symbolism in life. Another thing that I want to mention is that Cancer is a water sign. Like the other water signs, Scorpio and Pisces, Cancer is all about the all-engulfing areas of life. And when you think about the inner world, the unconscious, the nighttime is kind of like ruled by Cancer. It is this like deeply feeling moment to like reflect back. It's one of those signs that because it's ruled by water and because it has this connection to Pisces, this unconscious area, and Scorpio, this like deeply penetrating, investigative, working with what it has currently. Cancer is this thing that kind of tends to go to the past, and it tends to like really be reflective in the mirror. I'm thinking of that Disney movie, I See My Reflection, like, and she's looking in a lake. That is Cancer. Okay, so Cancer is all about the deep feelings and it wants to be felt. Now, Capricorn is an earth sign. You will find in the zodiac that all water signs coincide with an earth sign as their opposite. And that is intentional. The zodiac is literally this like beautiful map of just like dichotomy and divine opposites. We can always say that the opposite of water is earth. Now, what is that symbolism in like lived real life? Water being the opposite of earth means that it is flowing. If you look at a river bend and you look at the earth and then you look at the river, it is two opposites. It is like this flowing liquid. It's almost like this one big contained thing that is moving. And it is also going to the flow of the earth. The earth is just this grounded setup for water. And what earth does is it has a stillness. It has the fertile foundations and ground for growth. And the water replenishes that growth. That is why earth and water work so good together, because earth is all about building this like foundation. There is nothing below earth. There's nothing more foundational than earth, right? But water has this way of replenishing earth and actually making earth be growing, right? And have this beautiful like growth. Water is needed. Every tree we see in nature is because earth and water exist together, and they are divine opposites. I can't wait until next month to talk about fire and air, because those are the divine opposites of Leo and Aquarius. And we will again touch on the Saturn and Sun symbolism there too. Speaking of the beautiful divine opposites of earth and water elements, and that all translates to astrology, I want to talk about the herb that would represent Cancer season as a whole. I always like to do this because the energetics of herbs really translate to the astrological seasons in the cycle wheel. Now, if Cancer was an herb, it would be watercress. Watercress is really seen as this natural multivitamin. It is so mineral rich, and it literally has higher calcium than milk. It has a very moist texture, and it is cooling in nature. So when we think about the herb of the month, we always want to consider what is going on in nature. Is it really hot? Is it really cold? Is it kind of like equal, right? Those things all matter, because the energetics of whatever herbs we consume should always be in balancing to what's outside, I believe. If it's so hot outside, we're not going to want to have cayenne pepper, you know what I mean? So watercress has a lot of blood purifying abilities, and I find that symbolic because it is a detox herb, right? So purifying the blood, there's always going to be a detoxification kind of element to that. Detoxing is one of the biggest things in spring. Every time it gets warm, we want to detox, get our winter and autumn bodies out of our system, and our health that was in the winter and autumn are going to look a lot different than what they look like in the spring and summer. So detoxing and purifying the blood is the best way to have this clean energy at your disposal. One of the best ways to have watercress is actually just in a salad fresh. Because it is so nutrient dense and it has so many vitamins and minerals, it is best to have it fresh. When you dry an herb and extract it into something else, it can sometimes lose some of those constituents that are really beneficial for your body. There's one thing that I really want to mention about this specific Cancer season, guys. This is huge. This isn't the most rare transit, okay? But it is kind of a very significant astrological event going on right at the beginning of Cancer season. And it is Jupiter moving into Leo and the full moon in Capricorn happening the day after that. How rare is this, right? Let's talk about how rare, because I always think about in astrology, like, is this even significant? Is this even like worth talking about? It is. Jupiter moves into a new sign once a year. So it takes 12 years approximately for it to move around the zodiac. Jupiter is definitely not unhappy in Leo, okay? Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is another fellow fire sign, and Jupiter then rules Pisces, which is a mutable water sign. Leo is a fixed fire sign. It is the fixed fire sign. And what do we think about when we think about fixed fire? Fixed fire right there in my candle, right? So it's like, it's just this steady flame, this steady passion, this steady momentum. Always. Fire always has an aura of heat and sharpness, and like it will transform what it touches. Jupiter being in Leo for the next year is so exciting for me because it's going over my MC, which is amazing, which is a place in the sky. If you don't know, it has to do with your legacy and reputation. But Jupiter being in Leo for the next year is just fun. It is happening. It is ambitious. It is momentum. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is going to expand that momentum. I think that there's going to be a lot of symbolic change in momentum for the collective. I don't think it's only going to be felt for people individually. I think this is going to be felt across the board. The full moon happening the next day in Capricorn. Okay, we just talked about how Aquarius and Capricorn are the opposites of Leo and Cancer, and they're basically the opposites of life itself. But this is really symbolic that it's happening the day after. This axis line is going to be very heightened because the sun is right at the summer solstice line. It's going into Cancer at that point. Directly across from the sun is going to be the moon in full brightness, shining a light on our life, and the Cancer Capricorn axis reminding you that it is the most utmost light and dark. You can't say that about any other two signs, okay? So this is the most representative of the duality of life. It is the most. And so we have a full moon in Capricorn shining that light on the Cancer sun. And then we have Jupiter just entering Leo. The sun is headed there too. The year is progressing there. So we're going to have a sun-Jupiter conjunction eventually. This is a time to just be outward, okay? Go out, live out the thing that you're dreaming. Live that out right now. Seriously, because Leo is self-expression. The word is self-expression for Leo. If you're in this video and you're watching this, I'm giving you a sneak peek because you deserve it. Guys, my card got full as I was recording that. So the last thing I want to talk about is how Leo is the self-expression of life and Aquarius is ideal humanity. So when we think about Jupiter entering Leo, this is all about getting out there and living the dream and really expressing yourself from the heart, okay? That is what we're heading into with Jupiter entering Leo, and I am just so excited for this new year, for this chapter that Jupiter will be in Leo, because it's typically there for a year. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I am just so excited for what is ahead. I'm going to be talking a lot more about astrology, herbalism, and tarot on this channel. I'm going to start doing little tarot pulls of the day. So definitely be sure to follow me on TikTok or Instagram. I like TikTok a little more, so I'll probably be a little bit more active over there. I'm also cooking up something super exciting that I think all of you are going to love. It is going to take us out of our digital world, back into the textural feelings of life. There's going to be physical things coming your way from this little mini business. And yeah, I'm just so excited for what is ahead in that. And I hope that you guys stick around. So please do. Please feel free to subscribe and give me a comment if you resonated with any of this in this video. And I will see you guys next time.